Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Howard on Sports. My name is Howard. I probably look a little silly right now, but basically, I hurt my back on Tuesday and really haven't felt well since. And I spent most of today sleeping and hoping that when I wake up, I would feel better, but not really. Not quite yet. However, last night I went to get my back x rayed, and what they found wrong with it was the same thing that was wrong with it 2 years ago. So, no new injury. Now, I had hurt my back at work on Tuesday, and I expected to find that I had caused some structural damage, but they didn't find anything any worse than what they found a few years ago, which is bad enough. I have disc problems, but um, but anyway, this kind of illustrates my pessimism. Unfortunately, when things go wrong, I always assume the worst. So, like in my mind, I'm like, oh, I better go purchase a cane. This is it. I'm going to be a cripple for the rest of my life. Although, when I'm an older man, I probably will have to use a cane, but I'm only 54, so like, let's not rush things. But anyway, so yeah, I tend to be pessimistic and always think about the worst possible outcome of something. And I'm going to apply that to sports. So, because I am a pessimist when it comes to sports as well. So, just a few examples. Uh, the first one, my friend Barry brings this up from time to time. In the 2007 season for the Giants, the one where they ultimately beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl and like that shocking upset, we were watching the game. It was the second game of the season, Giants Packers, and the Packers destroyed the Giants. And I said to Barry, season's over. After 2 games, season's over. They have no shot. They're terrible. And they ended up winning the Super Bowl. And every once in a while, Barry gets a chuckle at that. But that was my pessimism was telling me it wasn't just a bad week in week 2, but it was over. No shot, no shot, for future success. And they did. They had great future success. They won the Super Bowl. So that's like my most famous example. Um, Also in 1998, the Yankees were phenomenal, but they were down 2 games to 1 to the Indians in the playoffs. And I thought they're going to blow it. They're the best team I've ever seen, and they're going to blow it. They're not even going to make the World Series. And of course, they ended up winning the next 3 games and then swept in the World Series. So really, they won the next 7 games after that. But I had convinced myself that they were not going to win. So I'm always pessimistic. I guess I'm afraid to let myself actually believe that something is going to go right. Now, I will give you an example that just happened uh, where I sort of did allow myself to believe, and it ended up backfiring. When the Yankees were down 3 games to nothing to the Dodgers in the World Series, of course I'm like, that's it, it's over. And they played really well in that fourth game, and then they were playing really well in the fifth game until that fifth inning, and everything went haywire. For a brief period of time, I was thinking to myself, they're going to win this game. They're going to now it's going to be 3 games to 2. We're going to go back to LA, and the Dodgers are going to be under a lot of pressure. So I think we have a real shot. Like I actually started to believe. Of course, once that fifth inning happened, I knew better. But so I did allow myself in that instance to be a little more optimistic. But sadly, in general, in life, I tend to be pessimistic in sports and in life. I'm afraid to invest hope. I'm afraid to really believe something is going to go right because I almost feel it's like a jinx. If you think it's going to go well, it's not going to go well. So for me, the best thing to do is to think that it's not going to go well, and then if it does, hey, then it's a pleasant surprise. So, but taking it back to me, as far as my back, according to that X-ray, nothing major occurred on Tuesday. It's not great because it's the same condition I've had, and I have to learn to deal with it and maybe do the proper exercises to strengthen the area. But um, but yeah, I have not sustained a new injury, so hey, I guess that's a reason to be optimistic.